Breakups are often the symptom of problems in a relationship. My workbook series, The Knowledge, is focused on helping you change your life in 4 key areas: retaining the information that I teach, personal growth, improving your relationships, and of course, re-attracting your ex. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about, will your ex tell you they want you back? Okay, so if you're going through a breakup and you're confused, you're scared, you're depressed, one of the things that you're really wanting to hear more than anything is that your ex misses you and they want to work it out. Unfortunately, it's not that simple, because your ex is a human being, hopefully, some of you maybe not, and they're upset, they're going through their own set of emotions, they're probably confused or anxious or depressed themselves. So, what happens is they know that they hurt you, and they're scared that maybe you don't want to talk to them, that you're angry at them, that you don't want them in your life anymore. So, it's a real challenge for them to just say, you know what, I miss you. That's scary for them. It happens, but not often. What I teach you guys is that the ex will most likely do the indirect, direct approach. And I realize that it doesn't come up in my videos often enough. But for those of you guys that don't know what that is, or maybe you've heard this before, the indirect direct approach is my term for helping you understand your ex's unusual behavior. Okay? Because it's really challenging to interpret. So, when I say the indirect direct approach, what do I mean by that? I mean that your ex will directly contact you. So in other words, they will initiate some kind of message to you, maybe a phone call, maybe some kind of message on an app or social media, but it's a direct message to you. But they don't say something like, I miss you. They don't say something like, I love you, or I want to talk with you, or I want to work it out. That would be easy. That would be wonderful if they did that, but they just don't. Because they're afraid that you're angry, you're hurt, you're upset, and that you don't want them around in your life anymore. So they're indirect about it, okay? In their bid to get your attention, they're indirect. They don't have the courage to say, I miss you. So they say something as an excuse to contact you, right? Like, it might be like, have you seen something? Maybe it was like a piece of property or something they own, and they're trying to act like they're caring about this thing where they obviously don't. Like, maybe it was like an old DVD that didn't work, or some kind of computer part that was broken, or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's something that they don't really need, and they're looking for a reason to contact you. They miss you, but they're not going to say, I miss you, because that's scary, and they're not going to take that risk. Most people don't have the courage to take that risk. So, what they do is they look for an excuse, they look for a reason to contact you, and when they do, okay, this just might be them trying to get connected with me again. They miss me. They're trying to feel that connection with me. They're scared that I'm moving on, or something along those lines. So it's important to understand that if you get one of these indirect direct approaches, it's a good sign. Now, sometimes they'll be contacting you about some business-related matter, and it could either be an indirect direct approach, or it could just be this business-related issue, and it could be really tricky to decipher. And of course, that's why Margaret and I are here for the coaching, because these things can get really tricky and complicated, because let's face it, it's scary for both of the people involved in a breakup, and that includes your ex trying to come back into your life, where you'll see a lot of hot and cold behavior, right? So today, I've got a really good email from somebody that I've probably done, I would say, 6 Skypes with. And I know his story really well because we've done so many Skypes over probably the last 7-8 months. And I've got a couple of quick emails that I wanted to share because they were so sweet. One of them, someone just sent it to me right before I was actually filming this video, and I thought, you know what, this is sweet, I'll add this tonight. She said, "Dear Coach, I have been rereading your email for weeks now, every night before falling asleep. It's been the most helpful thing so far. I have a feeling that I may need more of your reassurance and vote of confidence, since my self-esteem got so badly damaged. Have a great night, and thank you for all you do." Well, this woman did an email coaching with me in a really tricky situation where I felt like this guy was not being forthcoming. He seemed to be manipulative and hiding things. And quite frankly, she was a very beautiful girl, and she deserves a lot better than the way she was treated from this guy. And I actually shared that on my Instagram. I just created an Instagram, and there's only a few pictures up there or whatever, but I actually included that little screenshot for you guys if you want to see it. Just search for Craig Kenneth on there. And I'm also on Twitter, and I post all kinds of cool stuff on Twitter on there too, and you could add me there. The second email is another short one that said, "Hi Coach, my name is Amber. I'm a huge fan." Well, I like you already, Amber. "I have always loved learning about psychology and dating and read many books on the subject." Me too! "I have been watching you for a few months, and I love what you teach about relationships. I'm a model in New York City. I saw you were here in Manhattan recently and wish I had known you were here because I would have loved to take you to dinner and show you off to all my girlfriends." Okay, thank you, Amber. She's referring to, and I did post pictures of this on my Twitter. I don't know if you guys know this, but, you know, I do have quite a few roots with comedy still, and I recently sponsored an event for James Murray of the Impractical Jokers. He had a huge book event in New York City where he created this whole elaborate subway scare thing. It was like a haunted house kind of thing for his book. And so I got to sponsor that event, and I was there, and I was giving out bookmarks and meeting people. It was really cool. And you can see a couple pictures on my Twitter of that. Maybe I'll put one on Instagram too. But that's how she knew I was in Manhattan, because I posted some pictures. "I think you've been asked this before, but can we please clone you?" Well, I can tell you, my life would be a lot easier if I had some clones. I could get a lot more work done than I really do. I know people sometimes ask me why my email coaching sells out, and it's simply because I can't keep up. And, you know, in order to get you guys the daily content and do my Skypes with you all day long and maintain my own sanity, sometimes it does sell out. So just be patient. It's just because I can't keep up sometimes. The demand is high, and it's only me. "You are truly awesome. You have such a kind face. I love the way you talk. It's so soothing." Well, thank you. I hear that a lot, that people will say that your voice is so soothing. And it's interesting because the voice that I hear in my head is much different than the one you guys hear. You ever notice that? Like if you hear a recording of yourself, you don't like the one you hear? That's how I feel. Like the one that's up here, it sounds really good. The one that I hear from that on the videos, I'm like, ooh, I don't like that. But I'm glad you guys find it soothing. I know a lot of you guys actually tell me in the Skypes that you still listen to the videos as you sleep at night, and it really helps you stay calm. So I have that playlist, Listen While You Sleep, and that way for some of you guys that find it helpful, you just put the playlist on at night, you listen to it, and then if you wake up, you know, have your nightmares or night terrors because of the breakup, which believe me happened to me all the time. I used to wake up probably 4 or 5 times a night in cold sweats. It was awful. and you guys hear the videos, and it puts you right back to sleep. I don't know if it's a good thing, but you guys told me it is, so I'll take it as a compliment. You are great with Margaret. It sounds corny, but you are my hero. You'll be proud to know that I'm already halfway into the second workbook and loving it. They're really great and have helped me learn a lot. For everything, and I adore Margaret. Have you ever considered bringing on any other coaches? Well, I do have one good friend in mind who I've known for probably about 6 years or so, and she would be an excellent coach, I really think. And if I ever do bring her on board, which we'll see, we've talked about it, and we've got to work some things out to decide if that would really be a good fit for her and us to bring her on board. But if I do, I'll show you that even the first day that I filmed my videos, she was here, and one of the original ideas was I actually had her in a video with me, and it was her and I together, and I don't even remember, I think it was texting tips, but I still have the video saved, so you'll know that she's been behind the scenes the whole time, just as a friend, and she's helped me with the workbooks, and because she's really wanting to learn all the stuff that I teach, regardless if she does coaching. But yes, so that's one person that I could see myself bringing on board one day, but it would probably be a couple of years before that would happen, because there are some things going on in her life. I don't want to get into it too much, but I have considered that person, as she's a good friend. She's really, really great with intuition and just has a gut reaction. She's very, very funny. She's got a great big smile. She's easy to talk to, and we'll see. Maybe we will. But like I said, it would probably be a couple of years away. So I got a third email here, and this is from the one that I have done, like I said, probably about 6 Skypes with. And the reason I picked this one is to show you guys that your ex really doesn't just come along one day and says, I miss you, I want you back. Now, it happens, but not that often. And we probably started doing Skypes, I think in December-ish. And he said, this is a success. My lady ended things in July of 2017. She said we're too alike. Her feelings were not deep enough, and there was no hope. I didn't beg or ask her to reverse her decision. I was more dumbfounded than anything else, as I thought we were getting closer, which is a little warning sign for his situation. And as a matter of fact, we talked about this last time we talked, which is probably about a week or 2 ago. I texted the next morning, letting her know what I thought our problems were, and to call me if she changed her mind. I'm 40, she's 31. We live 2 hours apart, but didn't start out that way. We dated for 2 years. I decided to improve myself and went no contact. I dated, read books, and in the midst of this, discovered Craig. I began to see my ex as an avoidant, which makes me anxious at times, especially after the breakup. And like I said a minute ago, what did he say? He thought we were getting closer, and then she breaks up with him. She probably couldn't handle that level of closeness, which happens. Craig confirmed my suspicion in a Skype coaching, and we came up with a good plan, which involved continuing no contact, dating, and working on myself. In January, my ex sent a happy birthday text that was very thoughtful, yet head-scratching. And I actually went back and I reviewed that Skype message with him, because I wanted to see what was so head-scratching about it. But she did send him more than just the happy birthday. You know, it was like, hope it was great, and this and that. And then he texted her, and then she was friendly again, and he happened to be on vacation or something like that, and then she vanished on him. Okay, so he said, I thanked her and Skyped with Craig. The plan was to be casual and ask her to get together. She did not reply, setting off my anxiety. I continued no contact. Yes, she vanished on him when he invited her to get together. In April, she reached out again. She wanted to know if I would evaluate her back pain. You see, look at these indirect direct approaches. One was the birthday, and now we've got evaluating her back pain. And when we talked about the situation and really looked at it, we realized it was definitely an indirect direct approach based on that she had her own insurance and own set of doctors that she could have easily asked. All I'll say is they're in a related field. It's definitely an indirect direct approach after really going over it and talking about it. So we knew, okay, something's up here. So I had him ready. Once I knew that, I had a plan in place. He said, I agreed, and she came to my place. I had him ready for this. Her back pain was legit. Everything else checked out fine. He's got a little winky face. You guys can read in between the lines on that one. We had him very well prepared, and it went very well. However, when she left, she remarked, it was nice to see me again and to take care. This is where I made a mistake. I became anxious. I told her I was looking for someone to build with and not just a casual situation. Yikes! I know. Anxiety is a mother effer. Yeah, and I warned him. I knew his situation backwards and forwards, and I said, don't do anything like that. You gotta stay nice and relaxed with this girl. Don't freak her out. And he did. But he says, I booked a Skype. Craig went over in detail how to deal with my avoidant partner and reattracting her. He said, being okay with casual is crucial. Yeah, absolutely. In this guy's situation, this girl could not handle it. She had a lot of trauma in her childhood, and she just wasn't ready for that yet. As many times, that's all avoidance can handle. Let me tell you, Craig's right, and it worked. I have invited her casually when I'm in her city and when she reaches out. We've gotten together 75% of the time using this strategy. I set up the latest coaching well in advance. He did. He picked it like 2 or 3 weeks out, and I'm like, why is he picking so far out? I saw it on my calendar. And I realized it's because he was planning, because, I don't know, if he knew something was going to happen or he could tell. Anyway, it worked out really good. He said, because things were going well, I wanted to make sure I was handling things properly. Craig agreed, I am. Craig also brought some things to light, like, do you think she can be in a healthy relationship? Do you think she can be a good partner for you long term? I had to be honest with Craig and myself. In her current state, she can't. She's working on herself and her relationship with her mother, which is not a good one. So there is some hope for her and for us. But I know it will take time, and it may be longer than I am willing to hang in there. This is success. I am reattracting her, and through talking with her and Craig, I have learned that it wasn't my fault. And he had really beat himself up. I know many of you guys beat yourself up, and I completely understand, and you get really depressed over that. I now have the opportunity I wanted, but the reality is she might not be capable of a healthy relationship. I will continue to date and see her when I can, but I have to be honest with myself and know that beginning a relationship with her at this time may not be the best thing. For now, I'm happy that we got the chance to reconnect, and I'm enjoying the time we spend together. Thanks a million, Craig. The coaching and videos have helped tremendously. So, as you could see, it's not always as simple as your ex reaches out and they want to get back together. This girl came around, she disappeared. She came around, she disappeared. She came around, and as of now, they're still dating, they're going out, he's having fun with her, and he's realizing, I've done tremendous amounts of work on myself, and he knows that if it doesn't work this time, it's not because he didn't work on himself, it's not because, he screwed anything up. He's ready, he's handling this well. I think he's doing the workbooks too. And so, if it doesn't work out, he's going to be at peace with it because he's had his second chance and he's seeing how it goes, and he's done a nice job of planning things, preparing for things, and now he's emotionally centered to the point where he's saying, you know what? Maybe she can't do this. Now she's getting help, and I think she's going to a therapist too. So maybe they will be able to work this out. If two people sit down and say, I love you, I want to make this work, it can be done. Okay? Regardless of what you've gone through in your relationship, if you two can sit down, act like adults, and work together, it can be salvaged. Any relationship can be fixed. It's just a matter of both of you saying, okay, what do we have to do here to act like adults and make it happen? So, breakups aren't always so smooth, and sometimes an ex coming back is not as easy as I miss you. As a matter of fact, it rarely happens like that. Sometimes they come back and they're gone again. Sometimes they're hot and they're cold, and it can be really confusing. But trying to force things isn't going to make it happen any sooner. If anything, it's just going to sabotage the chances that you have. So, if you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching, I do Skype coaching. If you got to get with me right away, I do emergency Skype coaching. Margaret is also available for Skype coaching. She's outstanding. She's got over 35 years of experience. Add me on Twitter, add me on Instagram, subscribe to the channel, and like the video. I appreciate that. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon. I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net.